Catalan Parliament is taking a Spanish judge to court. Hello and welcome to Catalan News. Carles Puigdemont, Jordi Sànchez and Jordi Turull, they're all presidential candidates put forward by pro-independence parties, and they've all come up against the Spanish judiciary, in Sánchez's case twice. Today, the jailed activist was expected to be sworn in as president, but the Spanish Supreme Court blocked his appointment. Pro-independence parties decided to launch a lawsuit against the judge, and they're doing it from the parliament. This, despite the concerns of unionist groups, the chamber lawyers and the Spanish government. Today, we'll also bring you an exclusive interview with Marta Rovira, a pro-independence party leader seeking refuge in Switzerland. And in order to understand the EU extradition mechanism and its flaws, we'll speak with an expert on the matter. Can a judge prevent an MP from being sworn in as head of government? And can a parliament bring a judge to court? The institutional clash in Catalonia and in Spain is reaching unseen levels. The Catalan chamber is taking Judge Pablo Llarena to court, accusing him of perverting justice. But the Spanish government warns that this in itself could also be a crime, that of the misuse of public funds.
Jordi Sànchez, a jailed MP, had asked to be released in order to be sworn in as Catalan president. If this was not possible, he asked for a temporary allowance to attend the parliament in person. And as a last resort, he intended to assume office through video conference. But none of these worked. Supreme Court Judge Pablo Llarena ruled that Sànchez should remain in prison, as he still poses a risk of repeated offense. And this despite the United Nations' recent call on Spain to respect Sànchez's political rights. But the parliament speaker did not give up the fight.
En la defensa, deia, dels seus drets concrets, estem defensant els drets de tots, dels 135 diputats i diputades, del conjunt de la ciutadania de Catalunya.
It's been almost 4 months since pro-independence parties held on to a majority in the last election, but they've not been able to appoint a president. And Sànchez is not the first candidate to come up against Spanish courts. This is the second time that the judge has made this decision regarding Sànchez, and the fourth time that the Spanish courts have blocked the presidential candidate chosen by parties in favor of a Catalan state. These pro-independence forces see this as a perversion of justice and are therefore backing the lawsuit. However, the lawsuit has received pushback by unionist parties who vow to stop this by any means, and who deem this as the Catalan parliament being used for political means. Parliament lawyers will be responsible for drafting the lawsuit, and they are also concerned about its implications. Today, the Spanish government referred to them and urged pro-independence parties not to undertake a judicial clash that could have criminal implications.
Esa querella, en caso de querer presentarse, tenían que hacerlo unos grupos políticos concretos, pero no el Parlamento de Cataluña, y alertaban de que imputar al Parlamento de Cataluña la presentación de esa querella puede significar malversación de fondos públicos, además de otros posibles delitos.
Pro-independence parties now face a new legal battle.
Each year, the Catalan Parliament hosts an event to pay homage to the Republicans who were victims of the Franco dictatorship. Lasting 4 decades, it ended more than 40 years ago. But the current political situation is reopening old wounds. Parliament Speaker Roger Torrent stated that fascist values are still present today. Indeed, he says they never completely disappeared. He referred to recent attacks in which Nazi symbols have appeared throughout Catalonia, and worse, that the current climate gives impunity to these incidents. The head of the chamber accused the Spanish government of obstructing all attempts to revisit the past, including the exhumation of mass graves. Today's ceremony was attended by pro-independence parties and the left-wing coalition Catalunya en Comú. Notably, neither Ciutadans nor the Socialists nor People's Party attended the event. 3 weeks ago, 5 pro-independence politicians were sent to prison. A 6th person was also summoned to court, but she never turned up. It was Marta Rovira, the leader of one of the main pro-independence parties in Catalonia. It later turned out that she travelled to Switzerland to seek refuge. Today, she broke her silence. She did so in an exclusive interview with the Catalan news agency. She said that she decided to move after it became apparent that she too was going to enter prison, and she did so fearing she would not be back in years. In total, there are 7 Catalan leaders abroad that do not trust Spanish courts to guarantee a fair trial, and Rovira too faces an extradition order. She is already in touch with Swiss authorities and has pledged to respect whatever decision they take. So far though, she already feels some release.
Jo a Catalunya feia molts mesos que em sentia absolutament coaccionada, amenaçada i que m'anava autocensurant i que cada vegada m'anava trobant més cohibida. Per tant, espero haver arribat aquí també, en part, per recuperar la meva llibertat d'expressió, per poder recuperar l'exercici dels meus drets civils, l'exercici dels meus drets polítics.
Hello, Mr. Bunch.
Good evening, thanks for having me.
Puigdemont has faced 2 different European arrest warrants. The first one was withdrawn when he was still in Belgium. A second one was recently used to detain him in Germany. In an article, you say that his arrest challenges the principles of the extradition mechanism to the very core. Why is that?
What we're concerned about in fair trials in this case is that the case was before a Belgian court and withdrawn because the Spanish criminal justice authorities thought that they wouldn't get the decision they wanted. From all appearances, they seem to have decided that it would get a better decision in Germany. That challenges the principles of the European arrest warrant system, which is not meant to be used tactically like this. It's meant to be used as a normal judicial process, respecting the courts of each member state to fairly and evenly administer the system. So for us, we question why the Belgian courts were not given the opportunity to decide on the case.
You say that one of the premises of the European arrest warrant is that individuals should expect their rights to be similarly respected no matter where in Europe they are. Does this really apply to all EU citizens, especially with regard to the pro-independence leaders prosecuted in Spain?
The principle that EU citizens should have fair and even treatment across the European Union should apply to all EU citizens, and in fact to all people within the European Union. The concept of the European law is based on the idea that wherever you are, you should have some element of equal treatment, some element of equality in the way in which your rights are being respected by a court of law.
And what measures should be taken in order to address the problems that we've discussed?
This is a difficult question. I think at Fair Trials we've been arguing that the European arrest warrant system needs to be revised and revisited. We need to have a framework decision that guarantees that people will not be surrendered when there's a risk of fundamental rights violations, for example, in the issuing member state. The other thing beyond changing legislation that we would like to see is questions, if there are any questions outstanding on the operation of the European arrest warrant that any court has, whether it's a court in Spain or a court in Germany. We would like to see those questions referred to the Court of Justice of the European Union so that the CJEU can decide on how the system should operate.
Goodbye. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Good news for Barcelona Airport. The number of seats on offer on intercontinental flights is forecast to increase by 14%. This, according to the Chamber of Commerce of the Catalan capital. The outlook is particularly good for the summer season. The optimism is justified by the offer of seats available for the summer as predicted by airlines, which has increased by 2 million, 5% more than the same period in 2017. The number of spaces on offer for intercontinental flights is predicted to increase by 580,000. Moving on, the curtain is up. La Mostra de Igualada has started and is open for all the public. Let's have a look.
The curtain has gone up on the 29th edition of La Mostra de Igualada. The Children and Young People's Theatre Festival in the western Catalan city prides itself on being a major showcase of the best productions, attracting around 36,000 spectators. Over the coming days, Igualada is set to become a hub for creativity. Organisers of the performing arts market have selected 53 productions, including everything from theatre to circus and everything in between, with acts taking place in theatres and on the streets. On the agenda include many Catalan productions, but also companies from Spain and beyond. All of them were chosen for their ability to get children thinking.
i a que el món de la reflexió i del pensar i el món de les idees que habitualment atribuïm als adults, doncs fer que els nens també puguin ser partícips d'això. Quan anem a veure un espectacle, perduri dins nostre, no? O sigui, que no sigui una cosa de digestió ràpida com el menjar ràpid, no? Una mica, sinó que puguem veure un espectacle i després parlar-ne.
To get spectators into the groove, this year's edition kicked off with Diario di un brutto anatrocolo of the Italian theatre company Factory Compagnia Transadriatica, meaning Diary of an Ugly Duckling in English, and inspired by the ugly duckling tale itself. The work covers a diverse range of themes, such as love and family, bullying and war, birth and death, through the eyes of an ugly duckling on a journey of self-discovery. Also present at the event are more than 700 industry professionals on the prowl for new acts. As being a market, the Mostra is also a place for business like any other. But get your tickets fast, the festival ends on Sunday.
And this is all for today's show. But before you go, have a look at these landscapes in the western region of Lleida. Espais Naturals de Ponent has grown and it now includes 20 natural spaces. They'll surely take your breath away.